sexual behaviour. The cigarette burns are just practice for hell. Dr. Suavo is either the best or the worst parlour magician in the world. Opinions are still divided. All I know is he can make magic in my dreams. Introducing Dr. Suavo!
Australia's worst parlour magician doing some spoken word. Here we go. Everyone's brought up their notes tonight, their poems, everything like that. This is basically going to be my spoken word routine.
Johnny!
Read out the liner notes and the lyrics of Johnny Farnham's Whispering Jack.
No!
Everything's been X-rated material. This old fart has... he's raped Australia more than I have.
Yes.
And I feel some morph in the room, so I'm going to actually work with the microphone off the stand. That deserves a round of applause in itself. Because I feel the warmth from you. Firstly, is there 1 million people in Adelaide yet? Does anyone know the population?
It's over 1 million, but
it is over 1 million?
Old.
Okay, but the thing I don't understand is how on earth the city this size can put on 4.5 major events in one weekend.
Yeah.
I went and saw Ennio Morricone and the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra on Friday night. If I could get a harder, I would have had one walking into the gate. I can't get it up anymore. You know what I'm talking about. Those little blue triangular tablets, about $30 each. Viagra. Sit down. Firstly, my gourmet picnic hamper doesn't have a fork in it. So I'm eating rice off a knife. Very dangerous. I do a razor blade routine, but that's all gimmicks. Eating rice off a knife. Morricone, the symphony walks on, tunes up, great. Still getting more excited. Feeling the tension. Feeling the exuberance. Morricone performs probably once every 4 years. That's it. My hero, one of my favourite composers in the world. They start off quietly. A soft, nice part to the beginning of the first suite. Then we hear but not just one. They had a motor race going during the first suite of Ennio Morricone, which was drowning out one of the world's greatest composers. He walked off after the first piece of music. Can you blame him? Would you blame him for doing that?
No.
It's an insult. 7:30 in the evening. And believe me, I collect cars. I have a vast collection of 50s and 60s Vauxhalls. None of them run. But that was just utterly disgusting. 4.5 major events in a city that certainly cannot sustain it. Spread it out. Bring in more money to Adelaide. Sustain the arts longer.
Here, Doctor.
You can't spend... There's too much things happening on one weekend. You don't have the money. Because there's no employment in Adelaide, is there? You all grow pot and bring it over to Melbourne, sell it. Some of you get busted. I know how it works. So apparently the Premier, I still believe there's a Labor Premier here.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But hey, what's Labor in 2012, honestly? What's any political party in 2012?
Fascist.
Exactly. I would just call it plain stupid, ignorant, and probably they listen to Whispering Jack quite regularly while having sex. What a disgusting thought. There's no rhythm there. So the car stopped, finally gets stopped. Great, thank God. You know. Now you can see the show was starting to come up. And Morricone actually ended up doing 3 encores that night, which is never usually done. And that was purely because the people had spent a lot of money to go see him and what they had to sit through. So leaving, what was it, Elder Park I think it's called? Is it Elder Park near the Senator?
Yeah.
I noticed a particular politician called Mr. Simon Cream. Oh, yes. So I let my displeasure to be known. The person I went with had to listen to it all as well, but they agreed with every word I said. So I just slotted myself in behind Simon Cream. Not too close. I don't want to get those cooties off him or anything like that. But I made it be known. It's like, raised up the voice. How the fuck does a government put 4.5 major events, mind you, the half major event is Dr. Suavo coming to town. I didn't tell you that. How the fuck does a government put on 4.5 major events in one weekend and cause havoc for the people who live here, people who have to work here? What is the thought process? The thought process is idiocracy. And that's what government's about now. There's a great film that came out about 4 years ago by Mike Judge called Idiocracy. Has anyone here seen it? I suggest you see it. It will show the way the world is turning. Then there's a disinformation documentary called Stupidity. Has anyone seen that documentary? No? Download it. Don't buy it. Because the guy from Disinformation is a bit creepy. It's got some, there's some right-wing slide tags. I won't get into that. Download Stupidity. It's actually about, it's a documentary about idiocracy and had the dumbifying of society. 500 years time in idiocracy, we have an ex-professional wrestler, the president of the free world. I would rather that than George W. Bush, Jr.
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura. I'd rather have Jesse Ventura running the country. He would invade a sovereign country like Iraq. And because of that bogus deal with the War Crimes Tribunal in Copenhagen, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney are sitting down Miami now in their Hawaiian shirts, smoking Cubans, getting blown by 13-year-old Latino boys. Where's the crime? Onto Australian politics. I'm actually starting to finally enjoy Australian politics because it's becoming Americanised. How silly was that leadership battle? That was unbelievable. It's great shit. I was crying. Don't turn that stuff off. Listen to it. Embrace it. When I was in doing the Bible Belt in the States, was during the Democratic debates. I think it was 2008, 2009. Watched all of them. Everyone's money was on Miss Hillary Clinton. America was disenchanted. 3 wars. No money, no jobs, foreclosures. The world was going down the gurgler thanks to the Republican Party and George W. fucking Bush. Hillary did start off well. Obama wasn't in the picture. John Edwards, well, while he was screwing behind his wife's back and she was dealing with breast cancer, was in there because he had a nice smile and a part. Watching the debates and Hillary thinking that she was getting it, she turned into a dragon. It was unbelievable. Each one, she thought she had so much power. Now we all realise there are secret powers that be. Right? It doesn't come down to the American voter. It is manipulated who becomes president. And these people, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, the McDonald's Corporation, or Coca-Cola, they're all the same, realise there's no way we can have a dragon lady running our country. So with this disenchantment for 10 years, what do? Now it's time for the token black president. Who's not quite black, but he can get by like, remember Brian Gumble from NBC Today?
Is he still alive?
He is. You can YouTube him. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably, peddling burritos down in East LA or something like that. But that had to be. And you saw the hope in everything. And everyone, a lot of right-wing governments around that same time, all got thrown out of power. But we were in a mess. We were in a world economic mess. It was actually engineered so capitalists could make more money. And the people who were poor and lost on foreclosures and loans and everything like that were the honest victims. In America, down in the Bible Belt, one thing I saw which was amazing, with people just living in They call them shotgun houses. There's no fences, nothing. I spent a week in Bessenger, Alabama. Don't ask why. I just spent a week there. Beautiful area. These houses are called shotgun houses because the front door, back door, you can shoot a shotgun through, bang, straight through. No showers, bars, sheet, no fences, nothing. But you would see a brand new SUV next to these houses. And these houses look like tool sheds. I don't mean the pawn shops up in Sydney tool shed either. But when you give someone that's had nothing, anything in their life, you give them a credit card and basically pat them on the head and go enjoy your life, for the first time they can have a bit of pride. They can have something new in their life. But they don't tell them about the fine in it. The eccentricities, the little... I can't read small print. Even with a magnifying glass, I've got problems with that. So they conveniently didn't explain any of that to these poor people. And I had a friend who had the house in Chicago, and she almost lost that house. And who got the bailouts? The banks and the loan companies. And within a year, and they got the houses, and within a year they were paying bonuses again to the executive officers. So where is the right? How do we stop this? This election coming up in America, it does affect Australia, because shit, we're in their back pocket. There's no way around it. We can't get out of it, it's too far gone now. Goodbye England. We said goodbye to England in the early 80s, I think, wasn't it? I remember growing up watching all the English comedies. Now, you look at TV, the overseas product, except for SBS, is probably 95% American. So there's no way we're going to escape that culture. And I feel that the election that's coming up, this Super Tuesday coming up this Tuesday, where 10 states in America will be choosing basically the main Republican runner against Obama. Obama's been set up by the Republicans to take a big fall. His hands have been tied. So where do we get democracy from? Republicans come back into power, look after the rich, take away from social welfare. Labor Party, they're supposed to look after social welfare. The doctor is a social worker. Everyone thought I was a gynecologist. That's just a hobby. Right? I am a social worker and I've seen the effects of it. So where is this going to end? I don't know. All I'm hoping is that the 21st of December 2012, the Mayan clock, which says the end of the world is coming, does come. Thank you. I'll be back later to do a bit of straight jacket. And one thing, and Karen, you'll appreciate this, is a fashion in Melbourne now for teenagers. I see you over there, young kids here, to walk around with skateboards. They walk around with skateboards.
Yeah. Can they ride them?
Well, you look at the wheels, and most of the time they're clean. Whenever you see someone carrying a skateboard, for the doctor, please go, ride the fucking thing. It's a mode of transport, not a fashion accessory. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay, we're going to crack back on. Next up, we have...